Hey guys, Lunar Spiral 1127 here. Whoa, what a week. Exams are finally done, the holidays are starting, and of course I've been to Toronto Anime Con. I've released 2 videos of my experience over there, so check them out. I'll post a link down below. Souvenirs, I actually got a couple buttons. First one, an L button representing Team L from Death Note. Hell yes. And Alexander Anderson from Hellsing. I don't know if you can see that, but he's actually one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite crazy characters. It was either that or Vash the Stampede from Trigon, but this one's actually way cooler, so yeah, why not this one? So yeah, those are souvenirs. It's been a lot of fun at Toronto Anime Con. Exams are done. It's the holidays, and what better way to start off the day with Naruto chapter 613, Head. This has got to be actually a way better chapter than last week's, because not only we get to see, the Juubi's true form, and we may possibly have a character death ever since this war started 2 years ago. Yeah, this war has been going on for 2 years on print. So, yeah, let's get started. So, chapter begins with the Allied Shinobi forces led by Naruto attacking Madara and Obito because in order to stop the Juubi, they figured why not attack the people controlling it. It would make sense, but then again, they're using physical attacks and elemental techniques like the Laser Circus and the Rasen Shuriken against these guys, even though it's futile. So, hell, even Lee and Guy have activated their fifth chakra gate. And of course, as predicted, it didn't work. Why? Because the Juubi finally reached maturity and summoned 10 arms or hands, whatever, to knock everyone off. Naruto, he got a dislocated shoulder, even though he's in Sage mode, so you'd think he wouldn't succumb to injuries that much with Sage mode on. Darui's been flown back. Even Sakura, you see her flying back. Kiba Nakamaru and the rest of the Allied Shinobi forces. And we actually get to see Juubi's true form, which... Oh my god, the form, what the hell? I have no idea what the hell this thing is supposed to be. As you can see, it looks like a really skinny Bulbasaur with 10 arms for tails. Yeah, it's not what I expect for the 10 tails, but then again, it's not in its true complete form because it doesn't have Kurama and Gyuki sealed in it. But as you can see, it's got like horns on its head, tentacle-like horns. On one side you have an ear, the other side there's an eye, and on the other side, it has a mouth on the other side of its face. So it's technically got 3 faces. One with an ear, one with the eye, and one with a mouth. It's really weird. Yokorama says this looks like an anorexic Bulbasaur, and honestly, I can actually see why it is like that. So yeah, the Juubi's true form, not really that menacing. It's kind of funny and weird. Honestly, its previous form was actually more menacing. And I'm actually wondering if it has another form. I mean, probably a complete one because it doesn't have Gyuki and Kurama sealed inside of it. So maybe we might eventually see it transform again. Who knows? It might have another transformation. Knowing what is going on back in the back in HQ, Shikaku asked Inochi for him to contact with Kakashi. He wanted to confirm something regarding the previous battles Kakashi had against Obito and the Juubi and Madara. Now, the Juubi is actually, because of its second state, it's starting to become really hard to control it. So Madara and Obito use Hashirama Senju's cells to control it even more. And it slowly starts becoming a bit berserk. I mean, it's a bit harder for them to control it because later on, we see the Juubi unleashing Bijudamas at not at the Allied Shinobi forces. You'd think it would do that, but no, it's attacking other places like the town, an abandoned town. At least I think it's abandoned, hopefully, but I guess I'm not really sure why it's doing that. But yeah, we get to see this first attempt of another Bijudama. Is anybody else getting really tired of these? And to be honest, it's like a cone-shaped Bijudama. Actually, it looks like a candy corn. Yeah, a candy corn-shaped Bijudama. It wasn't. Now, the first one wasn't really complete because it was knocked back by Kitsuchi's Doton technique to mislead the attack. It had a massive blast radius, even though it was incomplete. Probably bigger than Deidara's C4 or when Deidara suicide bombed himself when he fought against Sasuke. Way bigger than that, definitely. So yeah, according to Madara, even though with the Senju DNA, they're still having a bit of a hard time controlling the Juubi. But I guess before they're able to progress in controlling it, the Juubi unleashes another Bijudama, this time complete, and it hits this town, which I'm not really sure if this is like abandoned or not, as I mentioned before, but from that Bijudama completely annihilated that town. This definitely does show like the Juubi being really menacing and threatening and very powerful and dangerous. I just wish it would use other stuff aside from Bijudamas, yeah. So once again, it's launching another one. And back at HQ, they're trying to figure out why they're attacking at the distance instead of the Allied Shinobi forces. You'd think it would do that. According to Shikaku, apparently Madara and Nobito were trying to shake their resolve and morale with, with displaying the devastating power of the Juubi. I don't really know why, because, I mean, you could show that by killing them. I mean, okay. But then this time, the Juubi unleashes a third Bijudama, and this time it's heading towards HQ, where Shikaku, Inoichi, and Ao are. Unfortunately, they had, like, no way of escaping because of how, the blast radius of the Bijudama, and from the way it's building up to, the people inside HQ, it looks like they're gonna die. So Shikaku, Inoichi, Ao, I think they're the three characters that have finally been killed off ever since this war started 2 years ago. And I've gotta admit, Inoichi, Ao, I didn't actually care that much. I only knew him because he had the Byakugan transplanted in his eye. So I guess they kind of wanted to know how he got it, but then again, what was the point if he's gonna die? Inoichi, he didn't appear a lot, but he did have some sort of significance towards the series, so it's a bit of a bummer that he died. But I think the person that I'm actually more upset about dying is Shikaku, because to be honest, Shikaku was pretty impressive, even though he didn't appear a lot. He was incredibly smart, just like Shikamaru. The way he planned out how to stop the Juubi, etc. I mean, he could potentially have become Hokage. Yeah, he could have, but now it doesn't seem like that. And to be honest, I highly doubt that they would be able to escape this attack. But then again, I don't want to get my hopes up like I did with Byakuya's death from Bleach. Yeah, how he supposedly died, built it up 3 times, only turns out he doesn't die. But then again, I have no idea how they'll escape. Maybe if they try to go underground, I highly doubt that would work. They can't, like, flee because of how huge the blast is going to be. And Mabui, I'm not sure if Mabui's there, but if she is, she could have tried teleporting them away with her teleportation jutsu. A lot of people saying that maybe it would be the people who know the Hiraishin jutsu, the Minato's bodyguards, Genma and the other 2, I forgot their names. That's possible, but they don't know what's going on, so they don't know that the Bijudama is heading towards HQ. So I highly doubt. Yeah, I can't think of other ways that they could probably escape from this, unless, and I will call bullshit if this happens, the Juubi misses, but I think that would be pretty stupid. Yeah, and from throughout this chapter, it has been built up that these guys are definitely gonna die, and their final act, considering their final mission, they said Shikaku orders Noichi and the others to connect to everyone in the field, on the battlefield. We get to see panels of Shikamaru and Ino. Shikamaru, he looks incredibly sad and shocked about what he hears. Unfortunately, we don't know like what Shikaku said to everybody, but I guess we'll probably know next week's chapter or the week after. And Shikamaru, it looks like he was gonna break down and cry. Unfortunately, Ino, poor Ino, she starts crying too. And I gotta admit, ever since this war started, Ino is becoming more and more useful towards this battle. I mean, I gotta give kudos to her. It's kind of weird. She's becoming more useful than Sakura. So yeah, so Ino starts crying and Shikamaru is trying to stay strong. And we don't actually see Shikaku Inoichi now dying, but we do see a bit of an explosion on the distance. And the chapter ends with that, we've crushed the head of the Alliance. Well, it may be rudimentary, but it sure was effective. And that's basically where the chapter ends. So yeah, this was actually a pretty good chapter. I think it was better than 612. The Juubi's second form is just weird. It looks like an anorexic Bulbasaur missing an arm with tentacle-like horns on its face, on its head with 3 different faces. That's kind of how I would describe the Juubi. Now, I'm glad we actually see the Juubi is shown being more of a threat and really dangerous, but I wish they could like do more stuff than just Bijudama, especially candy corn shaped Bijudamas. I thought that was incredibly weird, but yeah, I did like it that we see it as a really huge threat. Shikaku, Inoichi, and Ao, I want to believe that they died because, I mean, ever since this war started, not one character from the good side, the Allied Shinobi forces, died. Not like a minor character that had like, you know, like was really important. And that actually, because of this, it brought down the sense of danger towards this war, because we know that the main minor characters will survive. Now that 3 probably may have died, this is bringing this back the sense of danger. So if they really did die, thank you Kishimoto for that. But I'm not trying to be like some heartless asshole or anything, but I am a bit sad that Shikaku died, because out of all the minor characters, he was actually one of them that I actually liked. And I really do feel bad for Shikamaru and Ino. I mean, if this really happened. I mean, first, a couple hundred chapters ago, they lost their sensei Asuma, and then in this war, they had to fight him when he was like resurrected by Edo Tensei. And now, from what has been shown, what has been built up to, they may have lost their fathers. So not only they lost their senseis, but now their fathers. And I gotta admit, it's pretty sad that that will happen. But on the plus side, this might bring out some potential character development for these two. Next week's chapter, I highly doubt we're gonna cut back to Sasuke, or the 5 Kages. But we'll most likely see more devastation and destruction by the Juubi. Hopefully more characters will die, and who knows, maybe and we'll probably learn like what Shikaku said to everybody in the Allied Shinobi forces. I don't want the Juubi to be defeated so soon. But here's the thing, if they do defeat Madara and Obito first, the Juubi will be going berserk, because without Madara or Obito, nobody can control the Juubi. Nobody can actually defeat it. Now, I actually am curious how they're going to be able to defeat it. I mean, it's possible, but we have no idea how that's going to happen. I'm hoping that Obito gets defeated first, then Madara, and then the Juubi. I mean, I would call bullshit if Madara gets defeated first, because, I mean, 5 Kages couldn't defeat him. What makes you think 10,000, what makes you think a huge group of shinobi will be able to defeat them? So yeah, overall, this was actually a pretty good chapter, and I actually am keeping my fingers crossed that these guys really have died, because we really do need this sense of danger back into this war. And if they are dead, rest in peace, Shikaku, Hinoichi, Ao, rest in peace. So yeah, that's Naruto chapter 613 and Moon Spiral 1127, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.